Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here. And I noticed that there's a little bit of wonky Wi-Fi going on. So I'm hoping that you can stay in sync with me today and know that I really wish I could be with you all there in person. When Dr. Carol Clark and I first had a conversation about my becoming a keynote speaker, it was with the hope and intent that I would be flying into Miami and being with you live. But thanks to COVID, here we all are in our virtual settings, and I'm with you in spirit. I hope you feel that. So congratulations, everyone. And it's such a thrill to be able to be that person who is ushering you into becoming PhDs in clinical sexology. It's such a life accomplishment. And in the spirit of the true sexologist that I am, and also kind of that mothering aspect, and also the humorist that I am, I've prepared a presentation for you that I hope will enrich you, that I hope will uplift you, inspire you, and put a smile on your face as you look at the future that you behold as graduates of IICS. So I'm going to share my screen and put on a PowerPoint for you and lead you into the future, I hope. So let's take a look at how this will work. So here we go. The title of my talk is Your Downhill Run, the Path to Your Success. And just a little bit about me, although the introduction is probably hilariously longer than my talk. Thank you, Carol. When you're at my age and at my evolution in the field of clinical sexology, there's a lot to say about the lives that we have lived and the careers that we have held. And so you can see on this slide some of the things that I've accomplished, and know that you will be right there with me, those of you who are graduating, and those of you who are faculty too, some of whom are my dear friends. So let's talk about what inspired me to inspire you. So I want you first to imagine a team of 4 dark-skinned men sitting on a bobsled in the middle of winter, about to cut loose from the top of an icy slide at top speed. And for me, when I think about bobsleds, I think about a movie that really affected me. And that movie was called Cool Runnings. And I hope all of you have a chance to see that at some point. It came out in 1988, and it was really based on a true story of a bobsled team from Jamaica. And what's so amazing is that this team made downhill runs despite all odds of never having seen snow. Can you imagine? And much less had they competed in an Olympic race for the gold in front of millions of viewers. So that's quite something to inspire all of us, isn't it? About going against all the odds. And in many ways, it's like what comes after the uphill climb. And I'm really likening that to the uphill climb of earning your PhD, because earning a PhD is no small feat. And we who have done that, who have accomplished that, understand that this is really a life accomplishment that few do accomplish. And that is a new doorway into a whole new experience for every single one of you. And this is your downhill run. And for those of you who have skied or understand about skiing, when you're at the top of that mountain and you get on those skis, the downhill run is like, wow, it's the freedom, it's the glide, it's the reward for climbing that struggle sometimes to get to the top of the mountain. And, you know, it's interesting because even when you think about your downhill run, it does take courage to stay focused on your goals, yet find that inner power to move toward those goals. But when I think about what I wish to inspire you with, it's really all about love. And after all, we still are in the month of love, aren't we? We're still in February. And this is what I want you to know. So I love to make up acronyms when I talk and when I teach. And L is to inspire you to live fully. L is for living fully. And I want you to find your passion for what gets you up every day that will help carry you forth. Because you got to have something that evokes your passion to get you up every day. And O is for open yourself up to all of the possibilities that are going to start showing up in your life, and stay open to your thoughts and your feelings and your passion. You're going to have an opportunity to find passion in your own heart and in your ability to navigate change, because guess what? Things are always going to be changing. We certainly have learned that from 2020, haven't we? And that's what life is really all about. And that's where you're about to see new things emerging and a way to navigate a new path for yourself, because you now have walked through a door. And then V is veering toward the summit. And someone has their mic on, so you might want to make sure you're all muted so that everybody can hear what's going on. So please mute yourself. And veering toward the summit. So why I have veering toward the summit is so that you can steer over those bumps. And by the way, those bumps are going to happen along the road of life and along the road of your career, no matter what. And you're going to find those bumps as a sexologist, and you're going to find out as a clinical sexologist who is now a doctor of clinical sexology, that as a sexologist, you, like me and others, are going to be a lightning rod sometimes. And it's going to take a lot of courage as a traveler along that journey. And also, you're going to find out that you're a light being, and that you're going to be leading the way like a beacon sometimes toward what I hope you join me in, which is a path toward sexual health, sexual rights, and sexual pleasure. And those tenets come out of my work now with the World Association for Sexual Health, which is WAS. That's our global leadership organization. And our mission at WAS, as a volunteer, I am, is to promote sexual health and sexual rights. And only in the year 2019 did sexual pleasure become officially a part of looking at sexual health and wellness. So we have a long way to go, and you're going to help carry that torch. I can feel it, because it's really a ride towards sexual freedom and to be who we are destined to be, both for ourselves, for our clients, and those we serve. And then getting back to love, the E is for enjoying the journey all the way, because you really need to find a way to elevate yourself, to explore, to educate yourself. The journey of educating doesn't stop at that PhD. It goes on. It's a lifelong journey. All of us know as lifelong learners in this field. And to have fun. So part of what I want to share with you is a personal story. And you will notice that there's a meme in this next slide. And I hope you have a giggle when you take a look at it on the top far left. And that meme changed the world, actually. And that's Vermont's own Bernie Sanders and the mittens meme. And if you don't know about it, you really need to go look it up. And the reason that I show you this slide is because I want to share with you part of my own journey and what inspired me. And I hope that my story can help inspire you as well, because it's a true story about me. And it occurred in 1974, a long time ago. Yes, I've been in this field a very long time. And it was for me just before becoming the director of the Vermont State WIC program, Women, Infants, and Children, Federal Nutrition and Health Program for women, infants, and children. And at that time, Vermont was one of the first 7 pilot programs in the United States. And it had the largest budget within the Vermont State Health Department. It had something like a $1.6 million budget, which was really huge. And it was about to be led by me, yours truly, in 1974. And at that time, I looked like a hippie with long Indian gowns and long earrings and, little bells that would ring. At that time in the 70s, as now, I was always an advocate for freedom of all kinds. And I was on a mission for social change, and I had a bent for public health promotion and education. And my boss at the time, a man named David Goldberg, had written the grant for the Vermont State WIC program, and he was a hunger activist. And at the time, I remember, I'll never forget the moment where he was sitting at his desk, and it was this beautiful brick building in Burlington, Vermont, downtown Burlington. And he was wearing vampire teeth like this, like plastic teeth in his mouth, sitting with his business attire, with his feet on the desk. And he had worn it as a Halloween gag, but he had it on during our business meeting. And he leans toward me with his brown eyes, and he's staring at me, and he says, I know you're applying for the position of director of the Vermont State WIC program, Patti, because I was the associate director at the time. But he says, I need you to promise me something, Patti. The day you stop having fun is the day you quit this job. Promise me that, and I'll make sure you become the director. And I agreed. And I never went back on my word. And I did become the director of the Vermont State WIC program. I did bring the program into national compliance and won an award for my national leadership. And that really launched my career in public health and management of life-sustaining health. Later, it became, of course, sexual health. And the rest is history. So I want you to take that in. I want you to tell yourself, the day I stop having fun is the day I quit this job, whatever that job ends up being. So I want you to think about this poster, because this is from the movie Cool Runnings. And he then made this into a book and became a motivational speaker, very famous one. And I want you to know that you can do it too, that you can love yourself, that you can love your work, that you can love your clients appropriately with boundaries in an appropriate way. And you can love the path that you're about to take. And as for this poster, what the message is to keep pushing. So before I stop, I want to give you some tips for how to navigate life and your career from this PhD moment forward. So here are a few of them that came into my mind. First of all, your learning does not stop at your degree. I already said, most of us are lifelong learners. It's a lifetime achievement. I said that earlier too. And you're never going to be the same again. I can attest to that. I've sat on over 35 doctoral committees and been a dean of students at the beloved institute in San Francisco when it was there and alive. And I've seen that change happen. You feel when you earn that PhD as though you wear a mantle around yourself. And that mantle is something that I hope you wear with pride and wear well throughout the rest of the journey that you're on. And I want you to find joy in everything that you do. Keep a positive attitude. Find and follow your North Star to keep you on your course. I want you to find mentors that continue to guide you. Do what matters to you. Be authentic in that way. And one of the masters in the realm of management and personal growth and expert leadership is Brendan Burchard. If you don't know about him as a business guru, you need to look him up. And he always says, he tells a story, because narrative really moves people when you're trying to motivate them. And he always ends it by saying, and here's what is important to me. Did I love? Did I live? Did I matter? And you must. So I just want to leave you with this, that I know you can do this. And thank you so much for having me be a part of this wonderful, wonderful occasion. And I wish I could be there to give each of you a hug, but I'll just send you kisses. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And know that you can be the best you every day. So thanks so much.